Section 3.3, Definition 3, Circular Functions. This section will look at the circular functions definition and the domain and range of the trig functions. Definition 3, Circular Functions. Let's consider a unit circle with the radius 1, the center at 0, 0. The equation is x squared plus y squared equals 1. If the order pair x, y is any point on the unit circle, and t is the distance from the point 1, 0 to the point x, y along the circumference of the unit circle, then the cosine of the t is x, the sine of t is y. Recall the secant of the t is the reciprocal of the cosine of the t, which is 1 over x, where x is not 0. The cosecant of the t is the reciprocal of the sine t, which is 1 over y, or y not equal to 0. The tangent of the t, which is from sine of the t over cosine of the t. Therefore, the tangent of the t is y over x, where x is not 0. The cotangent of the t is the reciprocal of the tangent t. We get x over y, where y is not 0. In summary, the use of the unit circle, the order pair x, y tells you about the cosine of an angle theta, sine an angle theta, or x equals the cosine of an angle theta, y equals the sine of an angle theta. Use the unit circle to evaluate each function. Sine of 135 degrees, which is in quadrant 2. Sine is the y value. So we get the sine of 135 degrees as 1 over square root 2. Part B, secant of 330 degrees. In quadrant 4, the secant is 1 over cosine of 330 degrees, and the cosine is the x value. Therefore, the secant of 330 degrees is the reciprocal of square root 3 over 2, or get 2 over square root 3. The tangent of the pi, tangent pi, which is sine over cosine, or the y over x. For the pi or the 180 degrees angle, the y is 0, the x is -1, the answer is 0. The cotangent of 4 pi over 3, which is the reciprocal of the tangent, or x over y. 4 pi over 3 is in the third quadrant. The x value is -1 over 2. The y value is negative square root 3 over 2. We write it as -1 over 2 multiplied by 2 over negative square root 3, simplified to be 1 over square root 3 as the value of the cotangent of 4 pi over 3. Example 2. Use the unit circle to find all values of theta between 0 and 2 pi for which the given statement is true. Recall the x is the cosine of an angle theta, and the y is the sine of an angle theta. Part A. Sine of theta equals 1 over 2. The sine theta is positive, and angle theta will be in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. The sine is the y value. For the order pair that has the y value 1/2, the theta is pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6. Make sure the answer is in radian because the instruction said the theta between 0 and 2 pi. That means it must be in the radian mode. Part B, the tangent theta equals square root 3. Square root 3, which is the y over x value, and make it as a fraction as square root 3 over 1. The tangent positive and angle theta must be in the first quadrant and the third quadrant, or both x and y have the same sign. In our case here, the tangent theta is square root 3 over 1. That means the y value is greater than the x value. It has the radical 3 involved. So we see 60 degrees of pi over 3 as x is 1 over 2, y is square root 3 over 2. The quotient of y over x would give us square root 3. So one angle is pi over 3, which is in quadrant 1. For quadrant 3, that would be 4 pi over 3 because both of them have the same sign and the y value has square root 3 involved and the y is greater than the x value. Note that the circular functions are functions of real numbers. For angles other than special angles, we can use a calculator to evaluate the circle function. The calculator must be in radian mode when evaluating these functions. For example 3, use a calculator to approximate each function values to 4 decimal places. Make sure your calculator is in the radian mode. Let's check. Yes, it is in the radian mode. And then we are going to find the sine of 3. In part A, so we get 0.1411 for 4 decimal places. The fifth one is 2, which is less than 5, so we just disregard the number 2 and the rest of the decimal places. Part B, the secant of 2.1. Secant is 1 over cosine of 2.1. Put in the calculator, 1 divided by the cosine of 2.1. That gives us negative 1.9808 for 4 decimal places. In part C, the tangent of negative 6.15 we have 0.13978, but we need 4 decimal places, so round it to be 0.1340. The last one, cosecant of 3 over 4. Cosecant is 1 over sine of 3 over 4. So 1 divided by sine of 3 over 4. That gives us 1.4671 as 4 decimal places. This example, if an angle theta is in the standard position and the terminal side of theta intersects the unit circle at the point negative 0.737 and 0.675, Part 1, Part A, find sine of theta. We call sine of theta for the unit circle, that is the y value. Basically, the order pair that is provided is the order pair x comma y, or the x value represents the cosine of an angle theta, and the y represents the sine of an angle theta. That means the sine theta is just the same as y value, which is 0.675. The tangent theta is y over x. Y is 0.675. The x is negative 0.737. The answer is negative 0.915875. The last one, secant theta. Secant theta is 1 over cosine theta, and the cosine is the x value. Therefore, we are computing 1 over negative 0.737. Give us negative 1.35685. Example 5. Use the given unit circle to approximate sine of 2 and cosine of negative 4 as the increment along the circumference of the unit circle is by 0.1 unit. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6.3.28 or almost 6.3 for one revolution. The unit circle, we call the x is the cosine of an angle, the y is the sine of an angle. For sine of 2 or an angle 2, coordinate at the angle 2 is about negative 0.4, comma 0.9. The sine of 2, which is the y value, or the value 0.9. For part B, the cosine of negative 4. Negative 4, we go clockwise. Right here is negative 1. It's about negative 2. And this one is negative 3. And then negative 4 is about at this position. So the other pair, the x coordinate is about negative 0.65. The y coordinate is about 0.7. We take the x value for the cosine of negative 4, which is about negative 0.65. And let's use the calculator to verify both values. (0.9) for part A, and cosine of negative 4 is about negative 6.65.